Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Every Week We Follow. Today's part two of the preview. We've got the wonderful James Football TV, who's a fellow Fanalyst and Bournemouth fan, who's come on to talk all things Bournemouth and Premier League Villa related. Hopefully, we can kind of pick it apart, mate, this weekend's fixture. But the do's, the don'ts, the highlights, the lows, all that kind of stuff. And we'll throw in a little bit of a hat-trick quiz to kind of test your general knowledge on Bournemouth and see how we get on with that. So, mate, James, thank you so much for agreeing to come on. I think for me, one of the greatest things about being involved in Fanalysis is meeting fellow football fans, particularly of opposition, and being able to get them on the show and pick it apart. So if you want to, mate, just talk a little bit about how you got into Fanalysis and a bit about yourself.
I mean, so I got approached on X. I mean, I'm not like a massive content creator, but I'm pretty obsessed with football, like you are, I'm sure. And I just always got to get my views out. And then I got messaged, and then I had a few interviews and things like that. And then I'm in it. I mean, it's something I'm very happy to be in, because it means that I have another way I can offload all my thoughts about football after a match, or during the week or whatever. Because I mean, I'm at uni, so like I don't get that much of a chance to do it because I'm so busy all the time. But I can just offload here and there with Fanalysis, and it's good to have people like you that I can do this with as well, because I'm getting into actually making content now. I've got a YouTube channel and TikTok and things. So yeah, I'm enjoying sort of connecting with different people. It's really exciting.
Yeah, I think that's one of the most exciting things for me is the connection and the network opportunities that it's providing of meeting fellow content creators. I'm like you, James and I, who run the channel, we're very new to it. We've only been going just under a year, but it's something we were doing anyway. And I think we just hit it at the right time with Fanalysis starting. We got contacted via email by Hungry Bear Media, who are, for those of you who don't know about Fanalysis, by the way, guys, it's a new football app that is due to launch hopefully this month. We'll find out a bit more detail in this, hopefully on Thursday, from the wonderful Michael McIntyre. But it's being financed by Sky Sports. It's got the backing of Gary Neville. Hopefully, you guys will see. You may have seen it on Sky Sports. There's been a lot of Fanalysts on Sky. It's coming. Hopefully, this is going to be a great way of having football debate that isn't going to be the trolls of Twitter ripping you apart every time you've got an opinion. So I'm looking forward to kind of having healthy debate, because I think that's what we love about it the most. And so I'm excited to get it going. And like I say, the networking opportunities have been fantastic. So we'll see where it goes. Hopefully, mate, the dream is that we all become millionaire football content creators. That's that's the way forward, right? Because we're in a privileged position, right? That we're part of the starting 11s for our club. That means there's 11 fans from each Premier League team talking about their teams, driving debate, driving conversation. And if you guys want to get involved, this is my little plug for Fanalysis app. Well, there's a link in the bio. You can go up and sign up to become a founding Fanalyst, and you too can air your opinions and be part of the app. So, let's see where this takes us, James. I'm excited for it, right? So, anyway, let's get straight into it then, mate. So, Bournemouth, Sunday, Villa Park, 2:00 kickoff. Give us your thoughts, what you're thinking.
Well, I mean, I haven't been to Villa Park before, but I'm going on Sunday. So, firstly,
mate, if you're going, I'll be there. Maybe this is a suggestion, mate. We can hook up, get a photo or something, and I can add it to the content of the show and have a bit of a chat about the game there.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, so I'll be up there. I mean, I'm getting there about 11. I don't know, but we'll definitely do that. Yes, for sure.
Because I'll be there from about 12:45. So I'll message you and we. So anyway, I'll digress.
That sounds good. Yeah, so I'm taking the trip from Loughborough down. So I'm excited. I think it's gonna be a really good match. Like, Villa, interesting start to the season. I think there was a lot of politics going on, transfers. I don't think the team was in it properly. But then you've sort of brought it back. You've sort of worked your way back into the season. I'd say on the Bournemouth side, I think that we've had a flying season. Apart from losing to Liverpool and Man City, not really much has gone wrong. So I think this is going to be a close match. It always has been with us in Villa. I think, especially the most recent few seasons. You guys have seem to got the best of us mostly in results wise, but I think every match has been pretty close, and I think this will be another one.
We've done okay at Villa Park against you. Our record at the Vitality is not great. I mean, we won last season, which was kind of almost out of character. I think we just about hung on for a 1-0 victory from Ollie Watkins in a game that more or less dominated, if I'm honest, right? But I think that was there to give us false hope that we might qualify for the Champions League and then just throw it away at Man United on the last day instead. It's one of those. I have a little bit of PTSD from last season when we played you at Villa Park, and we conceded a 94th minute equaliser.
That was a great goal.
Lots of Villa fans talk about we threw it away at Man United the last day of the season, but there were several games last season where we chucked away leads, and that was one of them. And if we see that game out for 30 more seconds to concede from a set piece, you're like, oh, come on, boys! What are we playing for here? And ultimately, that there was. It's cost us. We've missed out on Champions League football, and I'm hoping that it's a difficult one this year because, first of all, James, I've got to say, kudos to Bournemouth this season. I think they've been absolutely phenomenal. And having watched them last season, you've improved. And what I've really admired about it is, like you mentioned there, about us going through the summer and having a bit of a nightmare summer, really. Lots of rumours that players are leaving, really unsettled. We started like a team that never played football together, which was really difficult to see considering we just got to the quarterfinals of the Champions League. You know what I mean? You go, what the hell is going on here? Yeah. And then with Bournemouth, lots of similarities. You lose key players off to Real Madrid and all, and yet you turn up for the Premier League and you go, now we're here to play, man. Like we've got players that are ready that have us. We work a system. We know what we're doing. These are we're all cogs in a wheel, and that for me just shows how good a manager you've got, right? And I think him and Unai are, pretty evenly matched. Do you know what I mean? And so I think this is going to be a very much a close tactical game where how you approach it in the first 15 minutes is probably going to be where it's won or lost. Because I said this to Molly earlier, that if you turn up and sensibly start with a low block against us and go, okay, right, we're going to sit back for 15 minutes and let you attack us, right? We won't have a clue. We don't move the ball quick enough, and we leave ourselves open up to the counter-attack. Yeah. I envisage that you're going to come at us because I watched your game against Man City and I was like, okay, right, here we go. They've come to play, but you forgot that they got Haaland up at the other end, who likes to score goals.
That was no good.
Yeah. But I have to admire that you're playing a certain way, and it's like, no, we're going to go and attack teams, and we're going to kind of. And I think that's our saving grace on Sunday. That if we have that time to pick through the lines, we may have some joy with Morgan Rogers and co. But and we'll get into the lineups how we can kind of pick that apart in a sec. But I can't help but think I'm nervous. You're a top 4 team at the moment, and you deserve to be there. And we've been really inconsistent. I was really disappointed with Villa's result last weekend at Liverpool. I thought we went to Liverpool not against a prime Liverpool side, but a team that's just lost 4 on the bounce, that looked dodgy in defence. And we allowed them to play their game. We allowed them to press us, and we didn't really do anything.
I did watch that, and I was very lost at what the game plan was, because you guys seemed to be like, you couldn't play out from the back. You were just getting dominated the whole game. Yeah. And I was just like, what's going on? Like, why are Villa suddenly not able to play? They're meant to be on some win streak, and Liverpool are meant to be on a loss streak. This is not right.
Yeah, there's 2 teams. You wouldn't have thought we were the team on the winning streak. I don't have many criticisms of Unai Emery, right? Because I think he's a fabulous coach, and I've said this numerous times on our podcast. I would rather get rid of every player in that squad and keep Unai as a manager and let him build something with players that want to be there. But he is very, very stubborn in the way that he plays, and I think his unwillingness to try different things in certain moments. He's like, no, this is the way we play. We play it from the back. And, there were snippets in the Liverpool game where it worked and we got through and we had a couple of good chances in the first half. But then we were really sloppy in possession. And when that happens and you go, look, Liverpool's weakness at the moment is that their defensive partnership of Konate and Van Dijk is not working. Let's just go long, hit Watkins, put them on the back foot. Let's try and get some set pieces in and around the box. Just what Brentford done the week before. And we just didn't do it. And we allowed them to completely, like you say, dominate the game because once they start their high press, they're the best team in the country at doing it.
Yeah.
Like we played Man City the week before. They played very similar, nice high press, but it's nowhere near as intense as the Liverpool one. And we were able to get through that and ultimately nick a goal and win the game. And that's kind of what I'm hoping for on Sunday, if I'm honest. I hope you guys come at us and we can just defend stoutly. We're lucky that we've got some players coming back from injury. Like last night, we played against Maccabi Tel Aviv. It's Friday for those of you that don't know. So it's the day after we played in Europe. And the key component here is Youri Tielemans, mate. He's been out for so long, but I don't know if you saw any of the game last night, but he came on. He had a 20-minute cameo, and you know when you don't realise how much you've missed the player, and you go, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
So this is a guy that makes football look very easy. Like just the basics of what he does. Similar to what Adam Wharton does for Crystal Palace, where you go, okay, he doesn't do anything like amazing, like skill. He's just look at the basics. Look how he moves the ball. Look at his movement off the ball. Look at the vision of pass. It's so quick, and we have missed that massively in the last particularly in the opening 5 games of the season. We've been a little bit better in the last 5 or 6. But consistency is a big thing for us. I think if you look over the last 2 seasons, just when we look like we're hitting a really good spell, we have 2 or 3 games where we just go missing. And ultimately that's cost us. I think it's because of the personnel we've got. We haven't quite got the squad depth to maintain our starting 11, that works really well. But like I say, Tielemans back, Buendia back. I hope that we can kind of do something on Sunday. But it's going to be an entertaining game for sure. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, I mean, I actually hope it's not like the match that was at the Vitality last season, because I think that match wasn't great. Because what happened was you guys nicked the goal and you basically sat back all game, and that's no good for us. I mean, that was no good for us last season. When a team is sitting back, we just we can't do anything. But this season it's been different, because let's take the Crystal Palace game, for example. They had the best defensive record before we played them.
Yeah.
And then we scored 2 goals in the first half against them. Yeah. And then it was 3-3 by the end. So, low block teams haven't had as big of an issue against us now. I mean, Man City, that was a serious issue. But that wasn't even from them pressing us. That was from us playing up their end. This I've just got it. I'm a bit traumatized from that match, actually, because they win the ball back and it's in their box, and then next minute Haaland scored.
It was a little bit naive from you guys, I thought, because you left him 1v1, and that's how we beat them. We just isolated him. We doubled up on him. We didn't give him the time and space to do that, and we basically forced Man City to play in front of us. Like your attacking plan was brilliant. Like if that goal had stood in the first minute or so when you scored, goals change games, right? But like you say, I think after we scored the first one, to concede the second one, more or less in the same sort of, guys, it was a bit disappointing from Bournemouth. But having said that, I still think for the entirety of that game, you didn't change the way you played. You were still trying to go at them. You were still trying to create chances. And against most teams, as you've already proven so far this season, you've blown them away. Like, I mean, you had to bring up Crystal Palace, our bogey side, who we can't beat for no love, no money. What I will say, which is an interesting stat, mate, is that we've only lost 1 game in 28 at Villa Park, and that was from the dreaded Crystal Palace. So Villa Park's slowly becoming a bit more of a fortress under Unai Emery. I think we don't lose many there. We are organised. I think there will be a big uplift in the crowd on Sunday, because lots of fans stayed away from last night's game because of the protests and stuff, and fear of violence kicking off. And I think I for one didn't go to that game, and I'm buzzing about going for Sunday. I'm ready to sing my heart out and kind of get behind the boys. And I hope that it's a full house, and we can do that and create some sort of atmosphere. Because when we do that at Villa Park, it can be an intimidating ground. The problem is, it does have the tendency to go flat as well if it doesn't go against us. So if you were to score first, it could go pretty flat. And
we have had a tendency of scoring early.
Yes,
in lots of our matches. So I mean, every time I've been to basically every away game this season. I mean, because I'm up at uni now, I can't go to home games, but every away game, it just shocks me. We score so early, and then and then the whole ground goes quiet.
It's quiet.
It's just us singing, and like I kind of want that to happen again because it usually does help us, because at the end of the day, if you've got a massive crowd all singing behind the team, you know, it because that's what happened at Crystal Palace. Is we were 2-0 up. Come the second half, they scored 2 goals. All the Crystal Palace fans are getting behind them, and then it feels like you're not like we can't get the team back in it, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think atmosphere will have a big effect on the match. And yeah, because of what happened yesterday and things like that, yeah, you guys probably will come out big and strong. I mean, it is a big game, realistically. I know historically, like playing Bournemouth is not necessarily something that's the biggest match. But I think now times have changed a bit, and times are changing in terms of how everyone views us as a team. I mean, you guys probably are viewing us as potentially a threat.
I really liked you guys last season. I think under this regime that you're under, I think you're doing things correctly, and it showed like with what you had went through the summer that there is a clear way of playing. There is a clear ethos in the club that the players have bought into. You know, you play exciting, expansive football in possession. You've been sound defensively up until the Man City game. I think you've defended really pretty well, and so it's well, at the end of the day, this is a top of the table clash, and actually we're getting to that point in the season as we approach Christmas that the league starts to take form, right? And if we lose on Sunday, like if we win on Sunday, we're level on points with you, 18 points, right? And then we're trying to compete in that echelon of the top end of the table, which for us is amazing considering of the personnel that we've got and the issues that we've had throughout the summer. We still look a little bit unsettled, but for you guys, you completely thoroughly deserve to be there, mate. And I really hope, like this is sincere, that Bournemouth get European football this season. I think it would be brilliant for the Premier League. I think it's brilliant for that big 6 conglomerate that can just go. It's a big like to you because you know what it shows is that teams and clubs that organise efficiently don't have to spend loads of money. You can get decent professionals that want to play for you, that can get you results. And that's what football's about. That's the beauty of football, right? The underdog story. You know, Bournemouth in its own right isn't a massive club, but you've had such a journey from, you know, promotion in 2015 to relegation to back to promotion a couple of seasons ago. And yeah, I'm here for it, mate. I think this is a great story for Bournemouth and fans like yourself. And I guess in a way, a point wouldn't be a bad result on Sunday. But I think if we want to do anything this season, we need a statement in 10 after the Liverpool game. We need to try and win this game. And like I say, it should be exciting. Anyway, we're going to break it up there, James, because we're going to kind of have a bit of fun now. We're going to go into our hat-trick quiz. So I've got your lovely picture. This is James doing a hat-trick quiz. Now, we've had one Bournemouth fan on already today, which will be added in later on into this show, Molly. Earlier today, we had Molly take on the hat-trick quiz. Here's how she got on. Let us know in the comments who you think won this week's hat-trick quiz, Molly or James. I'm going to get straight into it. It's the hat-trick quiz, right? I've even made a little thumbnail for you, which kind of... So, people, basically, it's 3 questions. There's a tap-in, a curler from the edge of the box, and a thunderbolt for your hat trick. And there is a bonus question if you do get one wrong. And if you get them all right, then it's just for basically just for effect, so you can bragging rights of how wonderful your knowledge is about Bournemouth, if that makes sense.
Pressure's on.
No pressure. Honestly, it's just a bit of fun. This is going to be a bit of additional content to the main show. We've got another Bournemouth fan, James, who's coming on, who's another Fanalyst. Unfortunately, it could have been Molly, but James replied to me first, and I wanted you both on. I thought, how can I do it? So
my messages.
we'll get you on, Molly, for when we do the return fixture at the Fatality, and you can come on and do the preview maybe if you're available. That'd be amazing. Right, let's get the questions up then. Where are we? There we go. Right, okay. Here we go, Molly. No pressure. This is the first one. It's the tapping. Right, so we're just going to ease you in nice and gently. Okay. So, yes. So, when Bournemouth beat Villa 2-0 on the opening day of the season in 22-23, right? Who scored the Cherries' first goal?
Ooh. 2022 season.
Yeah, 22-23.
Oh, gosh.
Now, if you're struggling, I can give you a couple of answers to help you along to see if you can, because I like to give people a chance in the hat trick quiz. Okay, so
my mind's gone blank.
That's okay, don't worry. So I'm going to give you two potential scorers, right? It's one of them, so it's a 50-50 kind of guess. So it's either A, Dominic Solanke, or B, Jefferson Lerma.
Solanke, has to be Solanke. I can't believe I... Is it not?
No.
Is it not?
It was Lerma who scored in the first 2 minutes. I remember the game so...
I do remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I can't believe I bottled the first question.
But don't worry, it's okay. We can still redeem it. There's still 3 questions to go. You can still score your hat.
Bottled the tap-in, oh no.
Sometimes, Molly, the tap-in is the hardest one to score. Trust me, we've got Ollie Watkins in front of goal. We see it enough. Okay, so onto the slightly trickier one, the curler from the edge of the box, right? The top corner, you can see the top corner now, Molly. The angle's there to bend it in.
Right.
Okay, so Villa and Bournemouth both came up from the Championship in 2015 for you guys and 2019 for us, respectively. But which manager was in charge of Bournemouth at the time when you got promoted?
Promoted the first time?
Yes, promoted in 2015. Yes! See, she shoots.
That should have been the tap-in question. Having the same manager for such a long time is easy.
Yes, you're probably right. But that's a great finish. Eddie Howe, 100%. The man, apparently the man, the myth, the cardigan, built that Bournemouth team from League Two to the Premier League. Like, it was just a fantastic story, right? The Eddie Howe journey. And obviously he got poached by bigger and better clubs, as we talked about. After money comes in.
I'm blaming all that COVID year stuff for all that.
Yeah. Okay, so on to question 3, the Thunderbolt. This is the hard one. Now, don't worry, we've got a bonus question as well, remember. So, okay. So, in February 2020, back to the COVID years, right? Okay, when no fans were out, Bournemouth beat Villa 2-1 at the Vitality Stadium. Which 2 players scored for the Cherries that game? Now, I can give you options if you need to. I'll give you 2 of them.
That COVID, yeah, right. Callum Wilson. Josh King. No.
Okay, I'll tell you. I'll give you 2 possible answers. So it's either A, Josh King and Harry Wilson, or B, Philip Billing and Nathan Ake.
I remember this game. I couldn't go to it. Philip Billing had a great game. It was Philip Billing and Nathan Ake.
It was. Boom.
I remember that.
It was. Billing turned into prime Yaya Toure, I think.
Yeah, that was. That I remember him coming out and we were like, oh, wow, we've got, special play. That was his, game that I think changed all our fans' opinions of him after that.
Yes, I remember it hurt. We went through a phase of really struggling against Bournemouth, in those, because we were both kind of...
we used to lose to you all the time. I remember we had you in the cup before we'd even been in the Premier League. And I used to live in Worcester. I used to go to Villa away. It was one I always went to. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it seems that we do okay at Villa Park against you and not so good at the Vitality. I think
you beat us last season and we got quite lucky at your place.
That was an absolute fluke because we were terrible going to that game. And
I remember being really frustrated about that result.
Yeah.
It was just that 1-0.
Yeah, we needed it, I think, because it was Onana that had a great game because Yuri Tielemans was injured. He missed the last 2 games of the season, and subsequently we managed to beat you guys, but then lost horrifically to Man United on the last day, which cost us Champions League.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, fun times. Okay.
I remember being so extra annoyed that we'd lost to you as well. I was like, how did we lose?
Well, you shouldn't have lost the game. I think Watkins scored for us, and we just kind of held on. I think you had glorious chances to equalise and even win the game, and we just kind of managed to grind it out, which kind of gave us false hope that we were going to qualify for the Champions League. But it's all history now. But the good news is you've got 2 out of 3, right? 2 out of 4, so you can still score your hat trick, right? This is the bonus bar question, all right? So bragging rights to get your hat trick goal. Okay. Right, so this is more of a Villa theme one. So because I've gave you pretty much kind of Bournemouth at Fanalysis. So this one's based at Villa Park. So when Bournemouth visited Villa Park in March 2023, Villa won 3-0. Right, which Villa player scored our first goal?
Oh,
And I can give you a couple of answers for this. It was either Leon Bailey or B, Douglas Luiz, who's sadly no longer with us. He's gone on to pastures now.
yeah, I feel like that was it Douglas Luiz?
Yes, Holly!
Yeah.
And she scores. I'm taking your first answer. Yes, well done. You smashed the hat-trick quiz. I'm buzzing for you. You are only, I think, the third person to score a hat-trick, and we've done like 6 or 7 of these. So you're in some. What I need to do is work out some sort of jingle. Right, I'm trying to get kind of a hat-trick quiz jingle, but I can't do it myself because I can't hold a note. But yeah, I've got a few ideas, and I'm stalking a few people on the internet to try and help me. There's a guy who we've had on the show called Sam, who lives in Norwich, and he's a big Villa fan, but he's a musician. And I'm like, mate, if you ever get any time, a little jingle for the hat-trick quiz would be amazing. So Sam, if you are watching, right, hit me up with a jingle. I'm sure it would be far
we
better.
deserve a jingle after that. May have been an ugly hat-trick, but a hat-trick's a hat-trick.
A hat-trick's a hat-trick. You still go home with the match ball. I need to get little every week we follow match balls to hand out so we can send out. That would be amazing. So you are a hat-trick hero, Molly. Well done. Right, we got there. It was a pleasure to talk to you about that stuff. So what we're going to do... Molly bagging her hat-trick just about there. Let's see if James can do any better. Basically, James, it's 3 questions. It's an easy question, a medium question, a hard question, or a tap-in, a curler from the edge of the box, thunderbolt, and you get a bonus question as well, just to kind of throw it in for good worth, just in case, right? And if you get all 4, then you've got bragging rights. But you know the hat trick is where you're at, right? So, and I promise you, it's nothing too taxing. These questions are from the last 10 years, so hopefully right in your street of Bournemouthness, if that makes sense. Right, we'll get straight into it then. And to keep it fair, people, I'm asking James the same questions that I asked Molly. So there's no, we can literally play you off against one another, mate, and she can have bragging rights, or you can have bragging rights, and you can watch this together, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, here we go. Question 1, simple tapping. When Bournemouth beat Villa 2-0 on the opening day of the 22-23 season, who scored the Cherries' first goal inside 2 minutes?
Justin Lerma. There we go.
I
was at that match. Unbelievable match.
Well, you started stronger than Molly. Molly struggled on that one. She couldn't remember. She pulled it back, but there you go, tapping, mate. I could see in your eyes just straight away, bang, right, straight in, turned into like, first 2 minutes, another early goal. I remember that game. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. Right, you just keep it tight for 10 minutes, boys.
CVG was your manager at that point, wasn't it?
Yes, he was.
Oh,
he was.
That's crazy to think. That is crazy.
It's crazy. And this was the controversial game in which he dropped Tyrone Mings, stripped him of the captaincy and gave it to John McGinn. I think it was the beginning of end of Steven Gerrard, even though I think it was his first game of the season. It was, trauma. Right, so anyway, so we're onto the curler from the edge of the box, mate, right? The top corner's there begging, you've got the angle, you just need to bend it in and put it in, right? So Villa and Bournemouth both came up from the Championship. You guys in 2015, the first time, us in 2019. But who was your manager in that promotion season when you got promoted?
When we got promoted?
In 2015.
2015? Eddie Howe.
Eddie Howe, yeah. See, nice and gentle, mate. 2 out of 2, right? You're in it. So this for the hat trick, it did take Molly the bonus question. So if you get this, you do get bragging rights if you get 3 out of 3. Right. So this is the thunderbolt, mate. This is the 25-yard screamer from the edge of the box. In February 2020, Bournemouth beat Villa 2-1. Bournemouth beat Villa 2-1 at the Vitality Stadium. Which 2 players scored for the Cherries that day?
Oh. Okay, right. Hang on. I'm going to have to think about this.
You can think about it. If you're struggling, because I gave Molly the option, right, I have got 2 answers. So I can give you a multiple choice answer if you're struggling. But if you don't need it, then that's even better. But yeah, you can have a think.
I remember that Ake scored in this. I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah. So Ake's definitely one. He scored. I'll let you know. He scored the second goal. So it's whoever scored the first one.
Okay. I have no idea who scored. Wait, what was this? It was 2-1, yeah.
It
I
was
have no
2-1, yeah.
idea who scored the Villa goal. I don't remember that, but there was a red card in the match as well.
It was.
I'm
I think
pretty
it
sure.
was. I think Samatta scored for the Villa.
I want to say, right? I want to say Phil Bill.
Are you locking it in?
Yeah, it was Billing, wasn't it? It was Billing.
Mate, that is incredible knowledge. Bravo. Bravo, James. Smashed it, mate. A hat-trick in the back of the net. Molly, I apologise, but James has outdone you. He scored 3 out of 3. That's a perfect hat-trick, mate, right there. Right. So, I guess, but for bragging rights, mate, this is the VAR bonus question. Right?
Okay.
So this is for your ultimate bragging rights. You can have 4.
Yeah.
You can get 4. Okay. So, when Bournemouth visited Villa Park in March 2023, Villa won 3-0. Which Aston Villa player scored our first goal? And I can give you multiple choice on this one.
Right. I think I remember the goal. Was it like, do you remember the goal?
I do remember the goal.
I think, was it across the goal like a tap-in?
Yes.
Was it Watkins?
Oh.
Wait, no. Hang on. No, wait. Because I remember the goal. It was McGinn. Was it McGinn?
You've described the goal perfectly. Okay, I'll give you 2 answers because I think it's only fair that you get a multiple choice, as Molly did have a couple of.
Okay.
So it's either Douglas Luiz or John McGinn.
Well, I said McGinn, but hang on, I'm torn up here.
I love it. It's great for you, mate. Come on, you've got this.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna say I think it is Luiz. Actually,
You going Douglas Luiz?
I reckon. Yeah.
Mate, you are right to change your mind. It's 4 out of 4, mate. It was indeed Douglas Luiz scored our first goal. So, mate, you are a true hat-trick hero. Well played.
Come on.
At some point, mate, I am getting a jingle for this quiz where I can play something out loud where everyone can enjoy that. That was amazing, mate. I'm really impressed with the knowledge. And not only the knowledge, but you remembered the goal. That's seriously impressive.
I just remember how bad defensively we were.
Yeah.
you guys ripped us apart that match.
But
that was the match David Brooks came back, his first match back from cancer.
Well, I think it was right more or less at the I think Unai had only been in charge like 5 months at that point, and we were kind of right in the flow of pushing for Europe. Do you know what I mean? So it was kind of you met us on a good day. I hope that we have the same on Sunday, which brings us, mate, on to our predictions, right? So what we're going to do, we'll go through your starting 11 first, then we'll go through the Villa starting 11, and then we'll do a score prediction, if that's all right.
Yep.
Okay. So we'll get yours up first, and I think this is your one. That look about right?
Yeah, that looks right.
Yeah. All right. So, mate, talk us through this a little bit. What can Villa expect, and who do we fear the most?
Okay, so I'll just go from goalkeeper up. So obviously Petrovic, he's been our starting keeper, very impressive keeper. Jimenez, he's got into the lineup recently, and I think he's actually quite a dangerous fullback going forward. Defensively, he's okay, but going forward, he's pretty good. So usually we would have Diakite, but I think that Milosavljevic will come in just because I think that Diakite did struggle quite a lot at Man City.
Yeah.
And I just think the aerial threat he brings and things like that, I think that the 18, 19-year-old is going to be he'll start.
Yeah.
And then Senesi, obviously, I think he's our left-footed centre-back. You know, he's strong. He's very experienced now in the Premier League, so he'll start. Truffert as well, one of the signings of the season, in my opinion. Really good, really good. And then Alex Scott, I mean, just to bring it up, got England call up today.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Bravo. Mate, thoroughly deserved.
I agree. He's had quite a difficult start. Difficult career at Bournemouth. He's had a couple seasons of not being the starting midfielder, not starting 8. He's had injuries. He's had quite a lot. But this season, he started. Iraola gave him the starting spot, and he's earned it, and he's now he won't get replaced. He can't be replaced unless he gets injured. He's firmed in there.
Yeah.
And alongside Tyler Adams, who's very underrated. He is very underrated.
Yeah. Was he at Leeds, Tyler Adams?
Yeah. So he was at Leeds, and then he left just before the start of the season. And Leeds fans are not fond of him because he said he'd stay in their championship season, like because they're in the championship. But then he left.
Yeah.
And when I went to the Leeds match, and oh my gosh, yeah, he got a lot of abuse. But yeah. that was funny. It was very funny, but yeah. And then David Brooks, I think he is our starting winger on the right. He's another player who's earned his way back in. Look, he nearly left to West Brom this season in the summer.
Oh wow, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, because he was very desperate for minutes, but now he's just looking like a completely different player. Like he's just really strong now. And then in the middle, I'm torn between Kluivert and Tavernier, but I think Tavernier provides quite a better press. His work rate, and he fits Iraola's system perfectly. I hope that you guys are going to be trying to play from the back and actually play with the ball because you have sat back against us before, and that when you do that, we just can't play. So that might happen, but we'll see. And then obviously Semenyo, who is going to be probably the player you guys are most fearing, the player I'm looking forward to see the most, obviously.
100%.
Yeah, he is honestly like, I mean, I know everyone talks about him and that he is like, everyone's just heard about him in the media, but genuinely like one of the best players I've ever seen play for Bournemouth. Like just everything he does is just unbelievable.
Mate, I think it's just the pure heart that he's got for the team. Do you know what I mean? I think
Sorry,
I just pressed mute by mistake there. But yeah, I think the heart and the passion that this guy brings to your team is seriously impressive, and he's been fabulous for 2-3 seasons.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, he's a threat. He's a real threat, and Matty Cash is going to have his work cut out.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if he can get space to run, and he can get in behind or just dribble through and gets a shot on goal, like genuinely, I already know the ball's going in the back of the net. But yeah, and then
like it, confidence, mate, confidence, like it.
And then up top, once again, I'm torn a bit, but I think that Krupi will start ahead of Evan Nilsson again, just because of Krupi scored 4 goals in 4 games now. Evan Nilsson scored 1 in, I think it's 7. So
yeah, so talk to me about Krupi, because he's come from a French second division side or something. What?
Right. So this is controversial. This is a controversial one because not many people actually know this, but Bournemouth have a majority stake in Lorient, which is the team he came from.
Oh, okay.
And so we our owner bought a stake in them. He doesn't fully own the team, but he has a majority stake. And we now have been sort of taking some of Lorient's talent, and he is basically was their best player last season. 22 goals in the league there. So yeah, I mean, look, it is a bit, there's some dodgy business potentially going on there because we bought him for 13 million and West Ham may have bid for him for a bit more in last January and he chose Bournemouth over West Ham. But like, look, we don't need to talk about that.
No, it's fine.
Every team has dodgy business. Every team has some sort of dodginess going on. I mean, look, yeah, whatever. So that's how Krupi has come to us. I mean, look, literally, most of the people around me in my season ticket at Bournemouth hadn't got a clue who he was. I mean, I knew because like I play Football Manager and things like that, so I kind of knew who he was. But like a lot of people didn't know who he was, and I'm sure literally the rest of Premier League fans had no idea.
Definitely in that, like when he started against Man City last week, I was like, they've got everyone else on the bench. What is going on? I genuinely, I hadn't heard of him until kind of this season. I was like, who is this kid? And the fact that he's come out of obscurity from the French league, but what your explanation kind of makes sense. So yeah, I appreciate that, mate. That's every day's a school day, right?
Yeah. So I mean, he's scored 4 goals. He scored a nice last-minute equaliser against Leeds, a brace against Crystal Palace. So I mean, yeah, he's quite the talent. And he provides a different threat. He's extremely well composed in front of goal and has got a great shot on him. So yeah, if he can get space to shoot as well, let's just say
he could play in your favour. It's relatively, again, an unknown striker coming to play against our defence, which brings us on to our starting 11, I suppose.
Yep.
Here we go. If we go through the back four, this is what I would like to see. I think Unai Emery will pick something slightly different. I think Digne will play left back. I think just because of the threat of what you talked about, the press from Brooks and Tavernier and definitely Semenyo on against Cash. There'll be cover. But this is what I'd love to see, because I don't ever want to set up against teams where we're trying not to go and beat them. You know, we're trying to. I'd rather us rely on our attacking talent. So, but we'll see what happens. Maybe one day Emery will agree with me. We'll watch this podcast and go, you know what? That Gary from Every Week We Follow knows what he's talking about. It's a matter of opinion, right? So Martinez in goal. I think that's a given. With Matson, I'd like to see there because he offers so much more pace going forward. I thought he had an excellent game last night, scored a great goal, and he just offers something different going forward for me. But I think defensively, he'll probably go with Digne. Now, this is where, if I'm Bournemouth watching Villa play in the last few games, right, Pau Torres is the weak link, mate.
Really?
If you play in front of us, he's brilliant. Right, he will absolutely clear up most things. He's good in the air. His distribution with the ball is very good. But if you go over our games and watch when teams have beaten us convincingly, it's when you get him running towards his own goal. So if he's isolated 1v1 against anybody, if he's made to run backwards, honestly, he has zero pace. And you go back and watch the game from last night. He got outdone 2 or 3 times. I'm like, oh God, I bet Semenyo's looking at him going, yep, I'm just going to go and sit on him. And that's what I would absolutely do if I was Bournemouth, like put him on his back foot. But to combat against that, now I've gone. Konza again he's our Rolls Royce. This guy,
yeah,
the World Cup. He's
100%.
He's got better and better in the last 3 seasons, and I think I'm struggling to name a better centre half in the Premier League at the moment. I think his reading of the game, his energy levels. He could probably be a little bit better in distribution with the ball, but that's where Torres is supposed to come in. And then we've got Matty Cash, who's been on fire in the last 4 or 5 games. He's barely put a foot wrong. Now, which if I go slightly forward, I'll put Marlon in that team because I desperately want to see this guy play minutes. I think there's a player there. However, Unai will probably go with Evan Gassond. Even though he offers nothing going forward. Honestly, he's not a threat to you going forward. He just he has not adjusted to the pace of the Premier League. And I shit you not, I think it was against Crystal Palace, right? And a little bit of Liverpool last week where he was on the pitch and he's like this, he's looking around, right? As if he's like, where am I? Like, mate, you're playing a Premier League football match. Can you switch on, right? You've got to be like, so he's a concern. But what he has done in the games that Matty Cash has shone in, he's provided cover. And I just think with Semenyo down that left-hand side that perhaps Gassond will probably double team him. That's what I envisage because I don't think Marlon has got that work rate in him. But from an attacking point, I'd want to see Marlon. And I'll get into that because the key where we can win this football match is these double pivots, mate. So, like Tielemans, as I said, he came on a cameo yesterday, was absolutely outstanding. This guy can unlock any defence. I think he's borderline world-class footballer. I think he's got the potential, right? But he's coming back from injury, so I'm not sure whether he'll start. That could well be Andre Onana in there. But to be fair, he's not put a foot wrong. I just think these pair, Kamara and Tielemans, are 2 outstanding footballers. Honestly, the little bits of off-the-ball work they do to cover space, to fill in for Pau Torres, to enable, to prevent that ball going in behind. So he's not left isolated, will be down to these 2 pivots. And if we can get that right, like I say, if Tielemans does play, he's got the magic to unlock that pass to play the ball to Rodgers, who will cause any teams in the Premier League problems. And he's banged on form. He had a good game yesterday. He played well against Liverpool and he played well against Man City. So I think he's finding form at the right time. And then McGinn, I just can't leave this guy out. He's just signed a new contract, 2028. I'm absolutely over the moon. This guy is literally single-handedly dragged us out of the mud because we were shit in the first 5 games of the season. I generally thought our players had down tools and gone, I'm out. Like, that's it. And we were going to be starting afresh, and we were going to be lucky to not get relegated, mate. It was that bad. But we've obviously, in Unai we trust, he's a fantastic coach and he's managed to turn it around. But it's down to him. We had part of my Fanalysis interview and audition when I went to London for it was one of the questions they asked was, is McGinn a starter? Would you have him in your starting 11, or is he just kind of a bench warmer that comes on? And so many people were like, oh yeah, he's past it now, he's just a bench warmer. I said, no, right, look, this guy, we paid £2.5 million from Hibs, like, 6 years ago. And this guy is just what he epitomises to be a professional footballer. Like, you need these players in your team. You need the guys that do the dogged work, that raise levels, raise standards, are big personalities in the dressing room. And that guy is just in fact, I get goosebumps just talking about him. I absolutely love this guy. Like,
do you know what I think about is that flipping goal last season against PSG?
Mate. He had no
he's a very, very impressive footballer.
Yeah, and just in the moments where we've needed him, has 100% stepped up. Now, I would say he's not the best footballer technically, not by a country mile, right? But what he lacks in technical ability, he makes up for in heart and desire. And actually, like, those moments when you need someone to kind of produce a goal or produce a moment of magical just to get you out of the shit, like, he's done it time and time again. So his contract is thoroughly deserved. And over, the one player that could play in that position is Emery, but again, coming back from injury, and he's been in fine form as well. But I think McGinn keeps his place there. And like I say, I'd love to see Marlon out on the right and play with. We did this against Burnley, and it worked really well. And Burnley came, surprisingly, I thought Burnley would come to Villa Park and play a low, but they didn't. They came at us, and it enabled Marlon to almost play alongside Rodgers in the middle. And it caused them problems because we moved the ball quick, but we don't do that enough. And I'm just praying, mate, that we do that against you, because I think you come at us. And then, unfortunately, mate, for us, and this is where I'm going to end up frustrated. I'm getting a lot of stick online at the moment because I've gone in on Ollie Watkins. You talk about Scott being picked for England. Obviously, Ollie's been left out of the England squad. First one in like 9 squads or something like that. But it's deserved, mate. He scored 5 goals in 31 games. Like, it's simply not good enough. And I get slated. He scored double figures in the last 3 seasons. Yeah, but he should have had like double the goals. He scored 13 goals last season. He should have had 25. We've created chances, and he missed 33 big chances last year, and we missed out on Champions League on goal difference. Now, it's not solely his fault, right? We have to look to our midfield to create and generate more goals. But if you're employed as a striker at a Premier League club and your job is to put it in the onion bag, right? And unfortunately, this guy's just not clinical in front of goal. It takes him 10 chances to score. And now people have said numerous things to me. He's low on confidence. Like, is there think about the summer, big rumour about him moving to Man United. Like, there was Arsenal in the January transfer window. I think his time at Villa's come to an end. And that doesn't mean that I don't respect him or rate him. He's done marvellous things for us as a club. And he was from 2020 to probably 23, 24, where he had the season of his life. Yeah. And he's 31 goal involvements, went to the Euros, scored in the semi-final, got us to the final. Brilliant, right? Absolutely unreal scenes. But, and this is just me, and maybe I'm wrong, but this is my opinion, where you have to have some sort of progression year on year if you're in the Premier League. And good players and better players just improve. You could say the same thing about Harry Kane. Look at the season Harry Kane's having in Germany. He's got no right to be scoring the level of goals that he's doing, right? No. But he's a natural clinical finisher, and Harry Kane's frustrated me so much for England, but you can't deny the stats. Like, the guy scores goals, and Watkins is not that guy for us. I think he's hit a ceiling. I think we have to look at we've got to somehow upgrade him, but obviously we are just fucking restricted by this stupid PSR nonsense, right? And I don't know. The club's going to have to do a shrewd bit of business to upgrade on him. So we've got him until probably the end of the season. I'll be the first. I would love this guy to come alive on Sunday and prove me wrong. I'm happy to do it. But what he's had in the past 3 seasons that's got him through, and a lot of Villa fans have gone, "Oh, you're being harsh on him," is his work rate and his movement. And but I haven't seen that this season. The first 5 games, he wasn't making the same runs. He had a couple of. He played okay against Fulham. He's got his goal, right? He played okay against Burnley. He was okay in the first half against Liverpool, but then second half, he looked like he didn't want to be there. His body language was kind of, no, I'm not really going for that. He was swinging at stuff that he shouldn't. Like, he wasn't. The hold-up play wasn't very good. And against Man City as well. Sorry, at home, I thought he was excellent against Man City at home last week, week before. His hold-up play was superb, and he really put in a shift. But we all know that football's about consistency. And we've got a Villa hierarchy, and our owners saying to us, "Well, we want this club competing for Champions League spots year on year." And at the moment, we're a million miles off that because we just haven't got. We're not clinical enough in the final third. You watched last night's game against Tel Aviv. It's a game we should have won comfortably, and we did. But we also allowed them to create opportunities, and they should never have done that. And I think if we do that against you guys, we're going to be 2-0 down. Do you know what I mean? And that's going to be the difference. So I said this about the Man City game, though, and I was proven wrong. Like, it's a game of Watkins and Haaland. Haaland will get a chance and score, and Watkins will get a chance and miss. Watkins didn't get any chances. Matty Cash did, but Haaland missed the one chance that he had, and then we dealt with everything else. And that's sometimes you've got to ride your luck a little bit against Man City. We did. So that's where it's won and lost for me, mate. It's going to be. I think it's going to be a tantalising game. The fact that we play the same formation, right? So it's going to be battles against individual battles, right? And so I just worry that, like I say, if we start Gasson down that left-hand side or right-hand side for us, your left-hand side against Semenyo, that he's got to have a game of his life, mate, because I think it's our weak point. And the other thing that I've pointed out about Matty Cash and got lots of shit for because he's been so good, and he did it against Fulham, and he's done it consistently over the last 2 seasons. For whatever reason, whether it's kind of told that he's looking to provide cover for Konza or Torres, he sometimes just takes a step inside towards the centre back, right? And it allows that little pocket of space in behind him. And if anyone is, and obviously in the Premier League, it's that split-second decision where someone against Fulham that cost us the opening goal. Basically, he took a step forward there. Right back, pinged the ball over the top. We can see the corner, score that we can see from the corner, right? But it should never have been allowed to get to him. If Cash is in the right position, he cuts it out, and we go. And don't get me wrong, I'm being hypercritical, but it's those key little details that in games like this, where I think it's going to be close, is the difference between winning and losing. For
sure. I notice little things about our players as well that kind of get on my nerves, like Senesi steps up way too much, like he did against flipping City. And most of the time he can step up, and then we're playing against opposition that isn't Man City, so we can get away with it. But then he does it against some other players, and it just doesn't work. I mean, and then there's other players, but I won't go into it. But I think with you guys, not getting Champions League has actually that is basically the whole reason why I think you got into the position you did by at the start of the season.
100%.
You couldn't keep. I don't know if you were going to keep Rashford or Asensio, but they weren't going to stay if you didn't get Champions League. And then you obviously money-wise, I don't really know how you got into this whole PSR mess, but I think it's actually really bad. It's crazy to me because our club, we're actually net profited this season, and we were actually close to PSR and at the start of the summer. That's why we actually had to sell. So we had to sell. Howson was gonna go, but we had to sell Zabani because of PSR. But no one really knows that much. But it's worked out all right. So
Well, I think PSR is. It's not so much been that for us. We kind of settled that by selling the women's team. I think that it's the SCR, the squad cost ratio nonsense. So it's the wage bill. And what's kind of happened at Villa is we gambled. you know, we qualified for Europe 3 seasons in a row. And actually what happens is you're punished, mate. So when we qualified for the Conference League 3 seasons ago, like you can go to, I think it's like 90% of your wage bill can be above, right? But then it reduces it. So if you qualify for Europe the next year, it goes down to 80%, right? So if you qualify for third year, it goes down to 70%. So all of a sudden this year, we can't be above 70%, like, in terms of player ratio, like thing, and we're way above it because we gambled on paying wages to Asensio and Rashford, and so by not getting the Champions League, it's basically put us in the shit, and we've had to kind of try and rob Peter to pay Paul to kind of balance the books, which I think we've just about managed to do, but it just means that we can't go out and splash the cash anytime soon because we're so close to that threshold now. If we win the Europa League, which has to be our aim this year. Like I was looking after the game last night, I'm looking at the teams in that, and I'm going Roma, maybe Forest at best are the 2 teams that probably pose any kind of threat. Other than that, we should be winning this tournament. We've got the most experience. We've got the most experienced manager. He's won it 4 times. Like I would thoroughly expect us to go all gung ho at this and try and win it. Because if we get back into the Champions League, I think it makes it a little bit easier to spend money because, you know, you can plan it a couple of years in ahead for that money coming in. So you can gamble again and go, because this year, if we'd have not qualified for Europe at all, we'd have been okay, right, in terms of financially. And we probably could have spent, obviously, you're not in Europe and you gamble. So it's a weird, the way they do it is weird. It has to change. And I think it will do in the next couple of seasons. And but I've heard lots of rumours that's going to be about the income of clubs and the revenue it's generated. So similar to what Spurs have done, they've had mediocrity for so long, but they've built a super stadium. They've balanced the books brilliant. And next transfer window, mate, they can spend literally whatever they want. And that's what Villa are trying to do now. Like with this expansion on the stadium coming, building the infrastructure, we're building, like, you know, we're getting better deals in, like, corporate wise and all that kind of stuff, because that's the way it's done. But the thing is, you can't do that overnight, and you still need to. What you have to do is try and have a great manager like Emery, getting the best out of some mediocre players to play above their level, to be able to get back to the Champions League, to buy better players to compete in that. It's a fucking big circle. So I don't know. Hopefully we can do there, because I do worry that our owners will go, well, I'm bored of this. This is ridiculous. We've got billions to spend, and the Premier League won't let us spend it. I don't think that's the case. I think they are invested. I think they're trying to do it properly. And then the other thing is, if Emery decides, you know, if he was to win the Europa League this year, he's like, well, I've done. I'm legend. I've first trophy in 30 years. Might drop. Bye. You know, but I don't know a job that will give him the freedom. He's got the keys to the kingdom at Villa. He's literally in control of everything, and there aren't many Premier League teams that are going to allow managers to do that. You know, so I hope he stays forever, mate. Well, let's erect the statue. Let's win stuff. I'd love to see, like, in my lifetime. Obviously, I've grown up a Villa fan. I'm 46 this year, and I was 3 when we won the European Cup. But it's the reason I became a Villa fan. My stepdad made me watch that game on repeat, like, time and time again. And yeah, I'd love to see the glory days back. But, you know, it's all ifs, buts and maybes. So, right, mate, let's bring us on to the end of the show, where we're going to do our score predictions, if that's all right. And we can just say them out loud if you want to. As you're the guest, mate, hit us with yours first. And what we saying? What are you thinking?
I think it's going to be a 3-2 Bournemouth.
Oh, I like, mate, that, goals in the game, 100%. No, I like that. I can't bet against us. I think so. Yeah. This is the way it works for me, right? As a Villa fan, I have 2 results every game. I have my head, right, which is trying to think of it as a footballing kind of result, and I have my heart as a fan. So my head says that we're going to win 2-1. Right? I think it'll be tight. I think there will be goals, and I think we might just nick it if we can do the things we've mentioned, right? But my heart. I'm going to say 2-0. I'm going to say I want us to win 2-0 and make a statement, right? That's my heart going. We're at home. We're 28 games with 1 defeat. But you know, I think sensibly, I'm going with a 2-1 win. It could be a draw. I'd take the point, if I'm honest.
I can see it being 2-0, right, to you guys. I can actually see that happening, but I can also see it being like 1-1. At the same, like, I feel like honestly, this is quite an unpredictable match. Like, it really does depend on who turns up and who doesn't.
Mate, I will spend the next 24 hours on the Fanalysis app, on that score predictor going, shall I submit it? Is it 1-1,
Yeah,
2-0,
yeah.
2-1, 3-0? Like,
Yeah.
I just biting. I did it yesterday with the Tel Aviv when I was like, it's going to be 3-0. No, it's going to be 2 because the atmosphere is going to be crap and it's going to be, there's lots going on. And I went with 2 and got it right. So, but I very rarely get 2 in a row. But we'll see if we can pull it off.
Yeah.
So, yeah, mate, that's great. It's awesome that you're going to the game on Sunday. Like I say, I'll drop you a message, mate. And if we could maybe meet off, do a little video, just kind of, we can have that sounds like a plan, mate.
For sure.
Show that football fans can unite and have a friendly banter, I look forward to it. So, yeah, James, thank you so much for coming on. Like I say, if you send me your socials, I'll put them in the link. This will be out tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. So, people, please tune in. Make sure you like and subscribe. Go and check James's stuff out. And, yeah, we're trying to grow something together, a football community, right? So that's something we're going to hopefully have support from Fanalysis and from other content creators. So watch this space. Enjoy the game. If you're watching on TV, if you go in the game, stay safe. And James, I'll see you Sunday, mate.
That's
if
great.
you stick around for a couple of minutes just before I'll say goodbye properly off air. But thanks, guys. And as always, I sing this song. I sing it out, mate, because I don't know. It's just a thing I started when we started, and now I have to do it because it's a ritual. So it goes like this. As always, people. Every week we follow the boys in claret and blue. Peace, people. Can play the ending.